Today's episode of Desertwood Days with Kathy Blaze is sponsored by Dork Publishing, expanding minds through fantasy since 2018. Learn more at the Dork Publishing website, www.dorcpublishing.com.
I wanna visit all the places nobody goes. I wanna teach all the things that nobody knows. I wanna grow wings, leave the coop, learn to fly. Bungee jump from the tallest building in Dubai. I wanna fly around town in my UFO. I wanna eat real food, not the GMOs. I wanna make moves, call the shots like the boss. I wanna love like I never lost.
Welcome back to Desertwood Days, and today we have an amazing guest for you. Her name is Mrs. Annice Jones. Hello there.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi.
Thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate that.
Such a pleasure.
Yeah.
So I see you brought your friend with you today.
Yes, I did. This is my Zeta violin that I play, and I've had quite a few concerts with it so far. It's fairly new, though, and has amazing sound. I wish I could play it for you, but it's an electric violin.
Wonderful. So we're going to sit down. We're going to talk a little bit to Annice first. So Annice, I'd like to first learn a little bit about you first before we start talking about what it is that you do.
Okay.
Okay. So are you a native of Arizona?
No, actually, I'm from Lafayette, Indiana.
Okay.
And we've been out here almost 20 years now.
Okay. What was it that brought you to Arizona?
The weather.
The weather.
Yeah, no more snow and ice and all that.
Nice reason to come out.
Right.
So you're a violinist?
I am.
So what was it that inspired you to get into music?
Well, I started when I was in 5th grade, and my dad rented my first violin for me, and so I started learning it at that time. And of course, practicing, he'd tell me, go close the door, because it was a little squeaky at that time. So then I graduated and sold it and regretted that. And so 38 years later, my husband, John, bought me my first violin again. And then I moved into electric violin after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was there someone growing up that inspired this? Was there a violinist that you admired growing up as a young person?
Actually, no, not really. In school, I was just an average kid playing violin, and I enjoyed it. I had great friends in the orchestra, and but Lindsay Sterling, of course, now inspires me for sure. I'll never be a Lindsay Sterling, but I sure would like to try. So,
yeah. You know what I think too, growing up when we were during our generations, we were more exposed to instruments.
yeah.
Because that was a part of school. You had music, and you either played the clarinet, you played the flute, you played something. That was just a part of going to school.
That's
as
right.
we felt.
Right.
So I don't think a lot of our kids have that opportunity anymore, because it's no longer a mandatory part of your curriculum anymore.
Right, and they don't receive budget for the performing arts department, and hopefully I get to tell you my story a little bit about that, what we are doing to help the schools.
Okay, well, we can talk about that right now.
Okay, well, I actually met a gentleman at Milano Music, and his name's Jeff Sr. He is a retired pilot, and he also has a band. I got to talking to him, and he saw me and said, well, what do you do? And I said, oh, I play violin for a hobby. And he goes, wow, I'm looking for a violinist. So we exchanged names and numbers, and so I joined the band. And what we do is we actually perform and do fundraisers for veterans, first responders, and our schools.
Awesome.
And so we've done many concerts with our schools.
That's awesome. Thank you.
And then
for
we
that.
give back to the Performing Arts Center.
Yes, thank you. I love that. we need more of that.
Yes, we really do. And it's quite an experience for the kids as well,
Yeah.
getting up on stage with us. They learn the music and they actually play with us.
Right.
And we've had as many as 150 kids up on stage with us.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So how do you guys decide on who you're going to perform for? Do you have a certain areas that you guys, or certain schools that you work with, or?
No, not really. I go out and visit a lot of the schools and talk to the orchestra directors and all.
Okay.
I have been blessed to get to play on the USS Midway with the band. It was for Ray Chavis. He was 105 years old at the time, and we did a birthday party for him. And he was the oldest survivor of Pearl Harbor at that time.
Okay.
I have gotten to go to Montana and do a big concert with the band as well. The band name is CTS, that's for short for Called to Serve. And that's why we do what we do. We give back.
Wonderful. You know what? Because I truly believe that no matter what we do in life, we need to give back in some way. So thank you for what you're doing for our children, our veterans, and our community as a whole.
Absolutely.
So thank you. Thank you. So you moved to Arizona 20 years ago. So did you at any point play the violin, would you say, as professionally?
Not at that time. It wasn't until I retired that my husband bought me my first acoustic out here. And so I took lessons from a gentleman named Torrey Edwards.
Okay.
He is unbelievable, and he opened for Tanya Tucker and George Strait in the heyday. And so he gave me lessons for about 5 years and in electric violin, and so that's where I've picked it up, and I play mostly rock, 50s, 60s, 70s music.
Really?
And then CTS, the band, it's mostly Jeff Senior's music that he has written.
Okay. What was it about the violin that you chose the violin?
It's instrument that I really realized that not everyone can play. As you can see here, there's no frets on a violin like a guitar and some other instruments. So when you learn to play this, you just have to learn where your fingers actually go to make the sound you need to make. So it's kind of a unique instrument, I feel, and it's become my passion now. I love playing it.
For someone that was interested in a violin, they've never touched it, how long would you say that it would take them to be able to adjust to it?
Probably to learn how to play a violin, first you'd have to learn to read the music. That's another portion of it. And then I guess I would say at least 6 months.
Okay.
It would take you to learn all the different steps. It's not just the violin, it's also the bowing involved. And there's a technique to that as well.
And learning the music.
Yes, learning the music. I am a music reader, but I am learning now, teaching myself how to improvise to music.
Isn't there some people, they're not music readers, but
Yes.
they're also musicians?
Yes, like Lindsay Sterling, for example, she plays by ear. And that's improving. And so she doesn't use music, she just plays. And that's what I'm teaching myself how to do, but it's hard to get off the music for sure.
So, music, playing the violin, learning the music. Is it easier for some people to learn the music before learning the violin?
I would say probably yes. If they're going to do anything else in the music field, it's always a good thing to know how to read music it was kind of interesting. It's a universal language.
Okay.
And we were on a trip and we were in Hungary. And I went into a music store and I bought a music book.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of interesting because it had a CD with it. I have no idea what they're saying on that CD, but I can read the music and play the music.
Oh.
So it's a universal language. Once you learn it, that's it. You know it. So.
Okay. So is reading the music, would it be the same as reading it for a different instrument, or would it be worded differently?
Yes.
I guess the symbols, would it be differently for a different instrument?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Like I've looked at guitar music, flute music. This is considered a C instrument.
Okay.
But yeah, some of the other instruments definitely, I look at the music and it's like, whoa, I don't know what that's saying. So yeah.
Yeah. Annice, I just love that name. Where did the name come from?
Actually, it came from a baby book back in the day.
Really? It seems like such a current name.
Yeah. No, it was back a little ways.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
A little while ago.
I love that. You know what?
Thank you.
I love that you play the violin. I do, and I've probably done told you that a few times. I do love. I remember when I was in grade school, I started off playing the flute, but I don't know. There was something about the flute that I didn't care for. Then I turned it in and I told him I wanted to do the clarinet. So I started doing the clarinet. I don't know what it was about the flute, but we just didn't work well together. But I should have stuck with it, but I didn't. So I love that you do this, and you're doing it for a great cause also. Speaking of great causes and performing, tell me about one of your most memorable performances.
One of the most memorable performances, I have several. One of them was at American Leadership Academy. We did a huge concert with the kids, and we had Michael Bruce, that is Alice Cooper's original guitar player. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He played with us, and he wrote 18 and School's Out, and the kids just went crazy.
Wow.
And we had 150 kids on stage.
Oh my goodness.
As I mentioned before, also playing on the USS Midway, what an honor that was to do that for Ray Chavis. And he was an amazing man. He has passed, but it was an amazing experience with the band and getting to do that. It meant a lot to me. I'll never forget that as well. And I've just had a lot of great experiences with CTS, Jeff Sr., and myself. Actually, I just got done playing a couple big concerts. One was at the Dream City Church.
Okay.
And it was a political event, and I played for like an hour and a half in their VIP room. So I got to meet a lot of the candidates and all, and then I jumped on stage and played a song with the band.
Okay.
And we have rangers that bring a big flag from the USS Missouri, and we spread that out over, it takes about 50 people to hold it. And so while we're singing the song We the People, they are waving the flag. And it's quite a touching moment. It will bring tears to your eyes. Yeah, it really is. And then I did a fundraiser Wednesday night for foster children.
Okay.
And so I played during dinner. It was a dinner set.
So you do a lot of solo performances.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
She's that chick, yes. She does solo performances.
I do. I love to entertain.
Yes.
And thanks to Jeff Sr., if it wouldn't have been for him, I'd still be in probably the bedroom just playing by myself. But he's opened up.
And we have to say thanks to Mr. John.
Absolutely, my husband. Yes,
for
John.
purchasing and giving you this beautiful gift.
Absolutely.
Yes.
He, like I said, he bought me my first acoustic,
Yes.
and then it went into electric, and so it's turned into a little mini nightmare because he gets to listen to music over and over and over again.
I'm sure he loves
he doesn't mind. He's my biggest supporter.
Yes.
And I just love that. I love that he brought me back to this. It's
That's
become a
awesome.
passion of mine.
So you've been doing this for quite a while. Where would you like to see yourself with this, say in 5 years?
Playing more events. Hopefully still the band will still be there, and getting to travel a little bit more with them as well. We have a lot of things going on, so we do hope to branch out into the country and travel some. And then for me, myself, I'd love to do more fundraisers and help people. I love helping people.
Well, because you work a lot with children and you perform for a lot of organizations, sometimes, because a lot of children haven't had the exposure to instruments, what advice would you give to them and to the parents that think this is boring or is not important for them to know this?
Well, I would say that right now, with the way the world is and what's going on in this world, that it would be a passion to get a child to start learning music, and it's expression of, it's just an expression of themselves.
Right.
And I'm thankful to my dad way back when I was in 5th grade, that he allowed me to be able to do this. And he's passed now, but I actually even went out when I first started. I went out to the gravesite and actually played at his grave for him to listen to me. It just meant a lot to me at that time.
Right.
So that's what I'd say for kids is get in there and do something that you really want to do that is fun. Orchestra, I have to say, orchestra was an amazing experience in grade, I guess it was junior high and high school back then.
And I agree with you, because I can tell you the first time, actually classical music, I remember I had to take this course for college, and it was a music appreciation course, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to take classical music. That's awful. But I loved it. I mean, it touched you in a place where you don't even imagine. I mean, I really loved classical music. And I remember the first time I went to the Phoenix Symphony. That was amazing. That was truly amazing.
And I would love to join an orchestra even now. So I'll probably check into that somewhere down the line as well. But yeah, it's been a great experience for me. I had, like I said, 38-year break playing, and it came to me like riding a bicycle. Pretty much within the first week, I had it down again.
So you said you would like to join an orchestra. Is that something that you could start on your own?
No, I'd like to get into like a classical orchestra that plays classical music and go kind of back to that.
Okay.
Stage too. I enjoy classical music. I just don't play it right now. I enjoy playing the rock and stuff.
Okay, you like the rock and roll.
I like the rock and roll, yes.
I can see that. Ain't nothing wrong with a little rock and roll. So we've discussed all the things that you've done in the past. Are there any upcoming events that you have?
Actually, we do have a few. We are doing a veterans concert on November 10th at Sunrise RV Park, I believe it is, for the people that live there. And then I have some Christmas shows I'll be doing. And for the last 9 years in my community, I put on my own Christmas show. And so it seems to get bigger and bigger and bigger every year. So last year I had somebody playing with me and also someone singing with me.
Okay.
So playing. So the residents love it out there, and they asked me to come back every year. So I'll be planning on that.
Okay. So do you dress up for Halloween?
I'm not this year, but I have.
Okay. I had to dress up for you today.
Yes, you look amazing. I love it.
If there was one thing, we usually do like this two truths and one lie. But we're not going to do that with you since we didn't prepare you for that. But if there was one truth that you would want someone to know about you that no one knew, what would that be?
Wow.
Something that you're willing to share.
Oh boy, that's a tough one. I really have no idea what that would be.
No.
I don't know that somebody doesn't know.
Well,
Most of my friends know about everything about me. So.
okay.
Yeah.
Where can our audience reach you?
They can reach me online at aljc.jones@cox.net, and I will respond if you'd like to have an event with me playing in the background. I'd love to do that.
Okay. It was such a pleasure having you here today.
Well, thank you very much. I
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed my time here and talking with you.
Yes, and thanks for bringing your violin.
Absolutely.
It's so beautiful.
Yes, thank you so much.
And thank you for joining us today here at Desertwood Days, and we'll catch you next time.
Today's episode of Desertwood Days with Kathy Blaze was sponsored by Dork Publishing. Visit them at dorkpublishing.com.